Hello everyone, and welcome to the Dice Commando YouTube channel. I'm Andrew, with you here as always. This is Go Again, a fabulous video cast covering the trading card game Flesh and Blood. This video and others like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. Please show your support with a like and subscribe, and be sure to hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any new videos. If you want to get involved with the channel, consider becoming a channel member. There are many benefits to channel membership, including access to our Discord, exclusive deck tech and strategy videos, and the opportunity to help create channel content. I want to sincerely thank all our channel members, as I truly couldn't do this without your support. You guys rock. Go Commando.
So let me propose to you guys a crazy scenario. What if, for the rest of this video, we forget about fusion as a primary mechanic and instead consider it merely as a bonus? What if, just for a short minute, we forget about that second arsenal slot from New Horizons? What if, ultimately, we forget about Lexi as an elemental hero and instead think about her as a ranger? Ranger has access to more zero-drop arrows, some really nasty go-agains in ball lightning, some hot zero-drop attack reactions, and a double-load bow, or an on-demand dominate effect. Or maybe we play her like the wide ranger that many of us wanted Azalea to be. What do you think that could look like? Is it even worth discussion? And I certainly hope so, because today, that's what we're talking about. Hey there, Flesh and Blood folks. Welcome back to Dice Commando and Go Again, a fabulous cast. I'm Andrew with you here as always. And you know what? Thanks a lot actually for tuning in for tonight's discussion. I think it'll be interesting theory crafting discussion. And I kind of wanted to give you a bit of background on where this is coming from, right? I mean, basically the long short of it is I've been revisiting my Azalea. I mean, you guys know I've been a quote unquote ranger player for a long time, but I don't feel that it's fair to say ranger anymore, right? Because Azalea and Lexi are very, very different. But anyway, I've revisited Azalea with the new toy she got, primarily Seek and Destroy, which is just, quite frankly, a way better nimbleism. I think that's kind of how you have to mindset that, plus Boltyn Shot. Boltyn Shot is incredible. And I've revisited her with that and, been getting some reps, and I haven't actually got her in Blitz yet, but, from CC. And she has gotten better. I mean, no question about it. Now, the theory crafting portion of this, and why we're talking about Lexi, is we collectively as a community, or I should say individuals within the community, have put a lot of effort over the years, year and a half or so, over, almost 2 years now, right? Trying to figure out how to play Ranger, how to play Azalea. And there's a lot of effort and thought that's gone in there, and we've gotten some pretty refined strategies on, quite frankly, a strategy that's not one of the better ones. So that was kind of the thought process here is, man, you look at Lexi, and she pretty much does everything that Azalea ever wanted to do, but better, right? I mean, for the most part, she does. And, aside from the fact that she doesn't have Azalea's specializations, which is not irrelevant, but aside from that fact, there's not a lot she doesn't do better than Azalea. So that was kind of the thought process is, all right, what if we applied the learnings we had to Azalea to Lexi instead of just kind of starting over? And, like I mentioned in the intro, what if instead of treating Lexi's elemental cards as a constraint for her on how she needs to build, what if we just treated them as extra bonuses, right? So let's for an example, let's put up Weave Lightning, right? Weave Lightning is just a +3, right? Now there's obviously better stuff if you're able to fuse on there, but fundamentally, it's a better nimbleism, right? I mean, it's, and that's why we look at Seek and Destroy, wow, Seek and Destroy is amazing when combined with Red in the Ledger, but it's still better than just nimbleism. And quite frankly, so is Weave Lightning, right? So, that's kind of my line of thought here is, and then when you put that in, you now have your Lightning fusion cards. Maybe you don't have enough of them because you're not doing the pure math, but you start to see where my head goes here, right? And then, kind of the next smaller part of this here is one of the things that has surprised me as I've seen Lexi decks develop is, reload has always been a very strong mechanic for Rangers. And I personally think that people are underutilizing reload with Lexi. Now, I understand why. The reason is because they're not elemental cards. Specifically, they're not an element card, right? And when you're trying to play like Elemental Lexi and you want the fuse stuff, your deck comp has to be like pretty right on to make sure you can get what you want to get when you want to get it. And so I get it. Get it. Right? But so it makes sense. However, right, if you look at Lexi's ability, you want something in your arsenal to flip. Right? And that's why I've been fundamentally surprised by the lack of reload, right? I mean, Take Aim is a great card, right? +3, and you can throw a card face down in your arsenal. That's what reload does. What if that card that goes in is an ice card? What if that card that goes in is a lightning card? And then you can do the Lexi thing, right? Now, I get it. You start to run out of cards at some point, but a Take Aim into a Weave Lightning, all of a sudden you're coming in on +5. What if you're playing Shiver and now that next arrow has Dominate, right? That's a 4-card hand. I get it, with a Take Aim, a Weave Lightning, whatever your arrow is going to be, plus the pitch. I get it. But if you're doing the fuse thing, you're card intensive anyway. So hopefully you're starting to understand kind of where my head is at with this line of questioning overall, right? I'm surprised that reload isn't as popular, especially like the take covers. You can throw a card down and then you can flip it over with Lexi. So I've been really surprised to see that. And, there's a lot of cool things that I think we could come up with if collectively we weren't so focused on, well, it's either Ice Lexi or it's Lightning Lexi, right? Why does it, and I'm not saying we play Ice Lightning, right? Hopefully you understand by this point. What I'm saying is that we don't play either. We just go good stuff, Lexi, right? So what would that fundamentally look like from a concept, right? And what I've come up with is what I've called EDD Lexi. And that means extra damage dominate Lexi. That's what it stands for, right? I'll throw it out there. That's my acronym. And I don't have, so I do have a list, but I don't have it perfected yet because I'm still testing it. But basically the concept here is you're just using Lexi as an elemental hero who has access to, Dazzling Crescendo, specifically Dazzling Crescendo and Snapshot are 2 0-drop air, right? That's one of the things that, again, put yourself back in the Azalea mindset, right? One of the things we were looking at from the Go Wide Lexi, from the Go Wide Azalea, we're like, we just can't do it because there's not enough 0-4 arrows. Well, Lexi has access to 2 more 0-drop arrows, 0-4 arrows, than Azalea does. And she's got a way to load them in Voltaire, right? Or you can give them Dominate if you want to do the Snapshot. The Snapshot thing probably works better with Death Dealer, granted, but you guys are starting to see what I'm saying here, right? Or at least I hope. And to that end, I've actually, right, because I firmly believe that Redliner is the better move for Azalea, always has been since it came out. And I even have actually played a game. I played, I think, 2 games with Redliner Lexi. It didn't work out great. But the concept's there, right? If you can get the Snapshot thing off with free reloads on your 0-4 arrows, you can start to see where things start to work, right? You can take aim, a Dazzling Crescendo, do that thing, right? But combos are combos and reliability is reliability, and you guys know that we primarily talk reliability here, so I get it. But I think we've basically kind of touched on the overall concept. So what I really wanted to talk about in terms of her real strong tools, is Lexi's best access card. For those who have played Azalea, one of the other problems is getting that damage. Right? She comes in with a Dominate maybe for 6 or some way they come up with a way to dominate it, or you can't dominate for whatever reason, and they're able to block it. And you just need an attack react, right? Guess what Lexi has? Lexi has access to Lightning Press. Lightning Press is an insanely good card for Lexi. I mean, I don't think I need to sell you guys on that, right? But it's insanely good because on something like Light It Up, right, which is also an insane card for Lexi, you can use it as your fuse and then come over the top, right? And you combine that with Shiver, which, you know, we've talked about that in a previous video, or at least I kind of threw that out as logic in a previous video, like, you know, maybe we should run Lightning with Dominate. And that's the EDD portion of, you know, my theory that I'm currently working on. But, you know, Lightning Press and Weave Lightning are basically, you know, Weave Lightning's it's a lightning-based front pump that's just as good, if not better, than the other stuff. And Lightning Press is just, I mean, aside from the fact that it's an instant and it has no defense, which does suck, but it's still basically in every aspect strictly better than Razor Reflex. I don't know why I couldn't. Razor Reflex, right? I mean, Razor Reflex is a great card, obviously, but it costs 1. And Lightning Press being able to sit in your hand, act as a fuse, and then come over the top. I mean, even if they know it's coming, if you're doing it right, there's nothing they can do about it, right? So Lexi has that, and so just fundamentally, let's lay it out, right? She has access to 2 additional 0/4 aerials. She has access to some better front pumps that can also act as fusing, and maybe they're not better front pumps because I think probably you don't run Seek and Destroy in Lexi because you just don't have the space, but a Weave Lightning in there just to act as a fuse card if you need it, or give a Go Again, or whatever it may be, right? Take Aim into a Weave Lightning, into a 0/4, into a Reload, into a 0/4. Wow. And by reload there, I meant like the bow. So bow into 0/4, but I mean, she basically, like I said, she basically does everything better than Azalea used to. So why not apply some of our old Azalea learnings, or the things we wanted to use to do with Azalea but couldn't quite make work? All of this effort we spent over the last 1.5 to 2 years trying to get Azalea to work, let's just apply it right to Lexi. That's my thought, because she's just got it. She's just got it better. Now, kind of an interesting discussion here is her armory. Which bow is better? And you know, I don't want to go too much into that. I'll put a ping up, right, a drop up, and go back to talking about why I think Shiver might actually be better than people think, right, in terms of that on-demand dominate, ODD in this case, right? But she has, you know, again, the only thing she doesn't have the only thing Lexi doesn't have that you wish she did, in my opinion, is Red in the Ledger, right? That's basically it. So if you can play her with all the new toys, get a couple extra combo stuff off, I think that there's really something there for Lexi in terms of just playing her mostly as a normal ranger with an upside, right? Normal ranger with upside. So just real quick, I wanted to go ahead and run down where my head is at right now from my list. Now, this is still in progress, and I would absolutely love to get your guys' feedback. And for again, there's a lot of ranger players who watch this channel, a lot of people with a lot of reps of it. Let me know what you're thinking. Let's collectively do this and make it better together. So here's the list. So I have, for the lightning cards, I have 4 lightning presses, red, yellow. I have 4 Weave Lightnings, red, yellow. I have 6 copies of Ball Lightning, the red, the yellow, and the blue. This is a Blitz deck, obviously. Sorry, I forgot to say that. Light It Up ×2. But basically, right, I mean, even if it's a Blitz deck, we can basically apply this upwards. You have to get your mixes a little different, but we'll talk about that at the end. But so Light Up ×2, Endless ×2, Snapshot ×2, Dazzling Crescendo ×2. These are all the reds. We have Boltyn Shot ×4, red and yellow. We have Buzz Bolt ×2. That's the yellow version. We have Remorseless ×2. That's the red version because it's the only one it exists on. And then we have Buzz Bolt ×2 in yellow. We have Take Cover ×2 for the red. That's with the reload. And we have Sink Below ×2. Shout out to Josh, who pointed out that you should not be playing Fate Foreseen, dumb Andrew, right? Andrew, again, it was one of those things. Andrew was so used to playing Azalea. It's like, well, obviously Take Cover is the ranger call. No, it's Sink Below. Now, you could do both, I suppose. You could do both. Then I have 1 copy of Remembrance. I have 4 copies of Take Aim, 2 reds and 2 yellows. Then we have the Pulse of Volthaven rounding out the list. So that's my current list as I have it today. But the idea is a lot of the OG Ranger tricks in terms of not necessarily like the dominate strategy, right? But we have a lot of the OG Ranger tricks and then a bunch of ways to fuse. You're not trying to get multiple hits off. You're not trying, I should rephrase that. You're not trying to get multiple arrow hits off. You're basically only shooting for one. You're basically shooting one arrow a turn, but you're using here your ball lightnings to make those more impactful and then fuse and come over the top, right? And obviously your major combo piece here is lighted up, right? You're going to want to make sure that you have lighted. Now, one of the things I referred to in the intro is, let's forget about that second arsenal slot. Let's be frank, there are very few reasons in CC. There are very few reasons in CC to not play New Horizon. However, in Blitz, I think there's an argument to still play the Skull Cap with this build, right? Because you don't necessarily need that second arsenal slot. Just remember that it's any face-up card. But with the reload we have, like I said, kind of going back to our old Ranger knowledge and strategies and the way we had to play before a second arsenal slot existed, I think if we use a lot of those learnings, I think we can get the extra blocking in Blitz, because it doesn't really matter in CC, let's be honest. It's probably better for us to combo. But in Blitz, sometimes you need the 3 extra health, right, over the course of the game. Actually, it would only be net 1, because you can block 2 with New Horizon and blow it up, so fair enough. So it's 1, I guess it's only 1 extra health. So, take it or leave it based on your personal preference. But, it still is what it is in Blitz. But again, like I said, I think with applying some of our old learnings, we can kind of skirt around that issue. So anyway, that's the list I have together, the EDD, this of course being with Shiver, right? The point of just being, like I said, the one, there's 9 ball lightnings in there that basically serve extra other arrow slots that you would normally play with, like Voltaire or something like that. There is no Entwined Lightning in here. That one's perfectly reasonable to play, actually, if you want, because sometimes you could actually get the extra shot in. But I want it to skew to like the Buzzbolt, because it also lets me get a little higher pitch with the yellows. So anyway, that's the logic, that's the list. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I think I've laid out the line of thought is, instead of like going a new Lexi build with ice or a new Lexi build with lightning, what if we do some like weird hybrid where like we don't care about fusing, but if we can, it's awesome, right? And I mean, obviously that doesn't apply to light it up. Light it up basically has to, but the other 0-4 arrows, we don't really care if they fuse or not. They're just 0-4 arrows that are damn good, right? Because that's damn good. I mean, we're not playing some of the other 0-4 arrows because these are better and they're elemental, right? And being elemental is important because of Weave Lightning, right? Weave Lightning gives it to elementals, and you guys get it, right? But that's the theory. So I'm curious to know what your guys' feedback is on this. If it's a stupid idea, let me know. That's pretty much it. So I am headed off here in a few hours to Gongai. We're doing a draft tonight, but remind everybody that as the product comes out, if you want to support an LGS, you can use code Commando10 for 10% off at checkout. I know a lot of people do support it, but on top of that, come out and play with us, right? We'd love to have you. You can come join me. We'll get on camera. We'll have a good time. We can socially distance fist bump or whatever you want to do. And then on top of that, reminder, everyone, for my buddy Fab Foundry. Actually, I'm headed out to Sandy, Oregon tomorrow. My buddy at Bunsen Brewers throwing a tournament, and I'm co-sponsoring it along with Travis over at Fab Foundry. It's going to be a really good time. If you're in the area and you see this video, come check us out. It'll be a good time. We can, again, hang out and socially distance fist bump. So anyway, folks, thank you very much for tuning in. I really do want to hear your feedback on this. If it's a dumb idea and I'm not playing Lexi the right way, fair enough. But it's a concept discussion. So let me know. Anyway, thanks, folks, for tuning in. Go Commando.